We must learn to imagine what we know. That's what the poet Shelley wrote. Stories told about a journalist who was in Hiroshima writing on a particular anniversary of the dropping of the atomic bomb. His translator was a young woman from the area who worked studiously at her task, never showing any emotion, until one day she heard the museum director describe what it was like to be a child when the bomb dropped. Suddenly, the translation stopped. The young woman was weeping and gasping for breath. "Oh," she said, I'm so ashamed," referring to her loss of composure. "But I never really knew about the war before this week." "Oh, I knew, but then I didn't know. The pain, the suffering, this is new to me." The journalist concluded his report by saying that whenever I think of Hiroshima, I do not picture the bomb, but rather the young woman, trembling in tears and who saw war for the first time. She was learning to imagine what she knew. A similar lesson can be applied to the images that we use to speak about our relationship to God and God's relationship to us. Today, on the fourth Sunday of Easter, we always have a reading about the Good Shepherd. That image is something that we can use to imagine. "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." One of the best-known psalms in the Scriptures, read or sung at many a funeral. If we use our imagination, we might sense the concern that God has for us as individuals, especially when we are lost. He searches for us in our pain. He looks for us when we fail to look for him. He loves us so much, the gospel says, that he even lays down his life for the sheep. Quite often, people think of God as a distant being who has little or no knowledge of us as individuals. Not so, says the gospel. We need to imagine what we know. This shepherd knows his sheep and they know him in a way that is so intimate and personal that it resembles the relationship of Christ to the Father. Another image that comes from the Scriptures is that we are children of God. We know that, but can we imagine it? Can we imagine God loving us in a way that reflects the love of a parent for a child? A love that is so patient and kind. A love that is always willing to forgive. A love that encourages us to be all that we are meant to be. It never ceases to amaze me as a non-parent how much parents give to their children. The best years of their lives. Countless hours of nurturing, guiding, and then the struggle at times to let the children grow on their own. Tomorrow we celebrate Mother's Day. Recall that passage from Isaiah that reads, "Can a mother forget her child? But even if she should, I will never forget you." Today we honor our mothers, living and dead. As we recall how much they loved us, maybe we can imagine how much God loves us. Yes, we need to imagine what we know.